Okay, so picture this. You've just come back from a 2-week vacation in Miami. You're tanned, relaxed, feeling, great.
Hmm.
You walk into your mother's house. She's elderly, lives alone, and you're expecting the usual. Maybe she's a bit frail. Maybe the house smells a little dusty.
And the fridge is probably empty.
Exactly, because you haven't been there to shop for her. So you open the refrigerator door, ready to make some comment about how she needs to eat better. But you don't find empty shelves.
No, you definitely don't.
You find yourself staring at a wall of blue tins, beluga caviar, vintage champagne, truffles in glass jars,
Uh-huh.
and you scream. You literally scream in horror.
It's such a powerful opening image.
Not because there's no food, but because the fridge is fuller than it's ever been in your life.
That scream isn't about food at all, is it? It's about a complete inversion of power.
That's it. And that is the scene that kicks off the story we're covering today. It's a narrative from the Voices of Auntie May channel, titled, "My daughter took my pension for a trip. When she opened the fridge, she screamed at what she saw." Now, I went into this thinking it was going to be a standard revenge story. You hurt me, so I hurt you back. But having read through it, feels a lot more complex than that.
It is. It really is. If we look past the drama, what we're really dealing with here is, well, it's a deep dive into the economics of self-worth.
The economics of self-worth.
Yeah, it's a case study on the psychology of hoarding, specifically how older generations often act as like unpaid curators for their own heirs, and what happens when that contract is violently broken.
Unpaid curators.
Hmm.
I like that term. It definitely fits the main character, Yuli. So let's set the stage a little. Who is Yuli?
Yuli is an elderly woman living in this brownstone that is essentially a time capsule. The source describes it not as a home, but as a museum.
Museum, okay.
High ceilings, heavy velvet curtains, antique oak furniture. I mean, it sounds magnificent on paper.
Sounds expensive.
It's asset-rich, for sure. But the description is very specific about the atmosphere. It smells of the dust of ages. It's cold. Yuli is walking around in these worn-out slippers, shivering.
So she's not enjoying any of it.
Not at all. She has Haviland Limoges porcelain, a service for 12 that's been used maybe twice in her entire life. She has fur coats in the closet that just smell like mothballs.
So she has all this wealth, but she's not actually living.
Precisely. She's suffering from a very specific type of poverty where you are surrounded by value but have no liquidity and, more importantly, no permission to enjoy it. She's preserving these things.
For her daughter.
For Quintessa.
Quintessa. The daughter. The villain of the piece, I guess we could say.
Well, she's certainly the antagonist.
That's putting it politely. So the inciting incident here is pretty shocking. Quintessa goes to Miami for 2 weeks. But she doesn't just go. She takes Yuli's entire Social Security check to fund the trip. Every cent.
Which leaves her mother with zero cash flow.
Zero. And when Yuli goes to the pantry to see what she's supposed to eat for 2 weeks, what does she find?
A jar labeled grits. But it's not even full. The source notes there are just a few lonely grains and some gray dust at the bottom.
And Quintessa knew this, right? She didn't just forget to shop.
Oh, this was intentional. Her parting advice was to boil them up, add a little butter, it's good for a detox.
That line, "It's good for a detox." It just made my blood boil.
It's a crucial line for understanding the dynamic here. Quintessa isn't just being greedy, she's actively dehumanizing her mother.
How so?
By framing starvation as a detox, she's rationalizing neglect. She views Yuli not as a person with needs, but as a low-maintenance storage facility.
Wow.
As long as the museum is still standing when she gets back, it doesn't matter if the curator is hungry.
That's a terrifying way to put it. So Yuli is alone. She's hungry. The house is cold. And she starts to realize that this isn't just thoughtlessness. This is cruelty.
That realization is the pivot point. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs kicking in. You can worry about legacy and inheritance when you're fed.
But when you're literally starving.
Those abstract concepts just collapse. Uli looks around at all these treasures, the silver, the porcelain, and realizes they are useless to her. They're just cold, hard objects.
So she makes a move. She finds an old newspaper ad for an antique dealer, a Mr. Alistair Sterling.
Right. Now, typically in these stories, you might expect the elderly person to get ripped off. They're desperate. They don't know the market value. But this is where the source material really surprises us.
Yeah, tell me about this negotiation. Because she decides to sell a silver spoon set, right? The Gorham Chantilly pattern.
A very specific, high-value set. It was supposed to be Quintessa's dowry. So when Mr. Sterling arrives, he expects to pick up some junk for pennies. He offers her a low price.
And does she take it?
No. And this is key. She counters. She demands a price that is 40% higher than his initial offer.
Wow. Where did that come from?
The source mentions she used to haggle at fabric markets years ago. This is a glimpse of the woman Uli used to be before she became just Quintessa's mother.
She has skills. She's competent.
She is. And when she pushes back on the price, Alistair Sterling realizes he's not dealing with some senile old lady. He's dealing with a peer.
So she gets the money, a fair dealer's price.
She gets the cash. And this restores her agency. For the first time in years, she has resources that are liquid, that she can actually use.
And she goes shopping. But she doesn't go to the discount grocery store.
No. She goes to an Epicurean market, a high-end gourmet shop she hadn't stepped foot in for 15 years.
The list of things she buys is it's wild. Prosciutto di Parma, Virginia ham, aged Parmesan, brie with truffles, stuffed olives, and peaches. Huge imported peaches.
Notice the nature of those items. They're all perishable.
Oh, that's a great point. She didn't buy a new TV or a coat. She bought food.
Expensive, ephemeral food. Psychologically, this is the complete opposite of hoarding antiques. Antiques are about the future preserving value for later.
A ripe peach.
You have to eat that now. It's an investment in the immediate moment. She is shifting her focus from her daughter's future to her own present survival and pleasure.
There's this scene where she sits down to eat this feast, and she pulls out the lace tablecloth, the guest tablecloth.
The one she was forbidden to use.
Right. And she says, "Today I am the guest."
That's the thesis statement of the whole story right there. Today, I am the guest. She stops viewing herself as a servant to her possessions and starts viewing herself as the owner of them.
It's a massive reclamation of self-worth.
It is.
And then she does something really petty but hilarious. She puts the grocery receipt in the velvet box where the silver spoons used to be.
It's so symbolic. The inheritance has been converted, the spoons are gone, the memory of the meal is the replacement.
So she's fed, she's feeling a little better, but then the phone rings. It's Quintessa calling from Miami. And I have to say, the audacity of this woman.
This phone call serves to strip away any lingering guilt Uli might have had. Quintessa is so condescending, she asks if Uli is still alive in this mocking tone.
And she doubles down on the grits thing.
Yes, add more water, it's more filling.
And she warns her about the electricity bill.
Yeah.
She's spending Uli's pension on cocktails, but she's worried Uli might leave a light on.
Exactly. But notice Uli's reaction this time. She's drinking a 2015 Cabernet. She doesn't cower. She just says, I'm finding resources.
Which Quintessa probably thinks means she found $1 in the couch cushions.
Right. She completely underestimates her mother. But this call is what triggers the escalation phase. Uli realizes that selling one set of spoons isn't enough. She decides to liquidate.
The ruby brooch goes.
Yeah.
The grandfather clock goes. The Persian rug. She calls the antique dealer back and basically says, bring the truck.
And she clears the house, the museum is dismantled, and she fills that empty space with the only thing that seems to bring her joy now, food.
Oh, the food. She orders beluga caviar, foie gras, vintage Dom Perignon. She orders so much stuff the delivery guys are squeezing boxes of chocolates onto the door shelves of the fridge.
It becomes, as the text says, Alibaba's cave. But I want to pause here, because up until this point, this feels like a revenge spree, a bit of retail therapy gone wild.
Sure.
But then Uli finds something that changes the genre of this story from a drama to a thriller.
Okay.
She's cleaning out a drawer, looking for a certificate for a painting, and she finds a red folder.
Hidden in the back.
Hidden deep in a drawer. And inside, there are two things. First, a brochure for a place called Restful Meadows.
That sounds nice.
It sounds nice, but the source describes it as a state-run facility known for smelling of bleach and neglect. It's the cheapest possible nursing home, a place you put someone you want to forget.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's bad. But what's the second thing?
A draft of a power of attorney.
Oh.
And it's dated for the month after Quintessa returns from Miami.
Can you just explain for anyone listening who might not know? Why is finding a draft power of attorney such a big deal?
A power of attorney, especially a durable one, gives someone else the legal authority to manage your finances, your property, sometimes even your health care. If Uli were to sign that, or if Quintessa were to manipulate her into signing it...
Quintessa would have total control.
Total control. She could sell the brownstone, access all bank accounts, and place Uli in that nursing home against her will.
So this wasn't just about Quintessa being selfish or lazy. This was...
No. This reveals premeditation. Quintessa wasn't waiting for an inheritance. She was planning an extraction. The plan was to come back, declare her mother incompetent, dump her at Restful Meadows, and cash out the house immediately.
That is chilling. It's not just ungrateful, it's predatory.
It is financial abuse in its purest form. And finding this folder is what steals Yuli's resolve. She realizes she isn't teaching her daughter a lesson anymore. She is fighting a war for her own survival.
So fast forward. The vacation is over. Quintessa comes home. She's expecting to find a broken, hungry old woman.
And instead, she walks in, and the house smells like lilies and sandalwood.
And it's empty. The clock is gone. The rug is gone. The paintings are gone.
Quintessa panics, right? She thinks they've been robbed.
She screams, "Where is the clock? Where is the rug?" She's frantic. And in her panic, and probably hunger after her flight, she goes to the fridge.
And this brings us back to that opening image. She yanks the door open.
And sees the wall of caviar and champagne, the visual evidence of her inheritance being eaten.
She screams, and Uli is just sitting there wearing a silk emerald robe, eating a sandwich.
The contrast is beautiful. Quintessa is hysterical. Yuli is just regal.
Quintessa yells, "Where did you get the money?" And Uli says, "I was hungry."
And then Quintessa asks about the jewelry,
Mm-hmm.
and Uli delivers the line of the entire story.
Go on.
"I decided to have your brooch for breakfast, and yesterday I drank grandfather's clock."
I drank grandfather's clock. It's so surreal, but it highlights the absurdity of value. To Quintessa, the clock was thousands of dollars. To Uli, the clock was a bottle of wine and peace of mind. She literally consumed the asset.
Quintessa loses it. She tries to grab the food, screaming, "You ate my inheritance!" She's physically trying to wrestle a jar of caviar away from her own mother.
Which just confirms everything Uli suspected. Quintessa cares more about the preserved fish eggs than her mother's hunger. But then Quintessa tries to pull the trigger on her plan early. She realizes she's losing control, so she grabs her phone and calls 911.
She tells the operator her mother is having a psychotic episode, right?
Yes. She claims Uli is insane, destroying property, acting dangerous. She tries to gaslight the system into taking Uli away right then and there.
That is a terrifying move. I mean, if Yuli was just a confused old lady, that might have worked. Police show up. Daughter says mom is crazy. Mom is yelling. It could go really bad.
It happens more often than you'd think, but Uli was prepared. The doorbell rings, and Quintessa thinks it's the ambulance, but it's not.
It's the cavalry. Mr. Sterling, the antique dealer, and Miss Theodosia, the neighbor.
Now, why are they there? This is the brilliant part. Mr. Sterling didn't just buy the items, he documented the transaction.
What does that mean exactly?
He brought notary certificates, he had bills of sale, he had witness statements proving that Uli was of sound mind and body when she sold the items.
Oh, that is so smart.
It's a legal shield.
Right.
When Quintessa tries to tell the witnesses, look, she's crazy, she's eating the money, Mr. Sterling can calmly produce legal paperwork that says, no, she's a competent adult making financial decisions.
It neutralizes the insanity plea instantly.
Completely. And Miss Theodosia is just there for the vibes, right?
Miss Theodosia is eating a $50 sandwich and serving as a witness to Quintessa's behavior. It's perfect.
So Quintessa realizes she can't get Uli committed. She's cornered.
And that's when Ely drops the final bomb. She slides the red folder across the table.
The nursing home brochure and the power of attorney.
She says, "You were so worried about housing for the elderly. Keep it. It might come in handy when you get old." By revealing that she knows about the plot in front of witnesses, she destroys Quintessa's ability to ever pretend to be the caring daughter again. She exposes the malice.
And then she kicks her out. I changed the locks this morning.
Quintessa's on the street, suitcase still packed, no key. And Uli makes a final threat. If Quintessa harasses her, she will sell the apartment, the last asset, and donate the money.
Which guarantees Quintessa stays away because she's still hoping there might be something left when Uli eventually passes.
Exactly. Greed is the only language Quintessa speaks, so Uli uses it to buy her peace.
So let's look at the aftermath. We jump forward 2 weeks. Quintessa's gone, presumably couch surfing somewhere. Uli is on her balcony.
But she's wearing a new shawl, terracotta wool, and the source notes that she bought it with the money from selling an old fur coat.
The moth-eaten one.
Yes, there's a great line in the text. "Moths ate my coat, and I ate empty porridge to save the coat for the moths."
Wow. That really sums up the futility of it all.
It does. It's the sunk cost fallacy of hoarding. We hold on to things because they were valuable once, even if they are literally rotting and we are suffering. Uli broke that cycle.
She converted the rotting coat into a warm shawl.
And the closing image gives me goosebumps. She's eating a sandwich redfish and cream cheese, and she describes the taste in a really interesting way.
She says it tastes like Those diamond earrings my husband gave me for my 30th birthday.
Yes, I hated their cold heaviness. Now I was eating them and they were delicious.
It's such a profound realization. Things are meant to be lived, not stored. Uli figured out that the diamond earrings served her better as calories and serotonin than they did as cold metal in a box.
It really forces you to look at your own life. I mean, we all have our own little museums, don't we?
We do. We save the good wine for a special occasion. We leave the tags on the nice dress. We work ourselves to death to build a savings account that we're too tired to spend.
It's the economics of self-worth, like you said at the beginning. If you are starving yourself, literally or metaphorically, to preserve assets for a future that isn't guaranteed, or for people who don't appreciate it, you're doing it wrong.
You are the primary asset. That's the lesson. If the asset you depreciates because of neglect, the rest of the portfolio doesn't matter.
And also, maybe don't sign a power of attorney unless you really, really trust the person.
That too. Legal documents are not birthday cards. Read the fine print.
So here's a thought for all of you listening to take with you. What is your ruby brooch? What are you saving that you should be eating right now? Maybe it's time to burn the good candles on a Tuesday night.
Or book that trip. Or just buy the imported peaches.
Exactly. Don't wait until the fridge is empty to realize you have the resources to fill it. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Until next time.